When Allah Almighty will hold the earth and the heavens in His grip, no force in the universe will be able to resist His command. Human beings, despite their intelligence and technology, will stand helpless before the reality of His power. The story that unfolds today may sound like science, yet behind every discovery, there is a reminder that the ultimate control belongs to the Creator of the worlds. The earth beneath our feet is not as calm as it seems. Beneath the soil, beneath the oceans, beneath the mighty mountains, lies a restless fire that has existed since the beginning of time. Deep within, almost 200 kilometers down, flows an ocean of molten rock known as magma. It is this fiery ocean that gives birth to volcanoes, that shakes the ground during earthquakes, that shifts the massive plates on which continents float. Humanity has always lived with this danger, but mostly it has remained far enough below us to let us live in the illusion of safety. Yet, the new report released by a NASA environmental expert has shattered this illusion. According to this report, what was once a calm and predictable system is now changing in ways beyond comprehension. A decade ago, magma was measured at an average depth of about 130 kilometers. That distance meant safety. But today, only 10 years later, it has risen dangerously closer to the surface, now reaching as high as 160 kilometers. For ordinary people, this difference of 30 kilometers may seem small, but for scientists, it is a terrifying alarm. It means the Earth's internal system is shifting, accelerating, moving towards something catastrophic. The closer the magma comes to the surface, the more unstable the Earth becomes. The tectonic plates that form the skin of the planet are now moving in unpredictable ways. Their collisions create violent earthquakes, their shifts spark tsunamis, and their fractures open fiery mouths of volcanoes. Already, the past decade has witnessed an unusual rise in natural disasters, storms that destroy entire coasts, earthquakes that swallow cities, floods that appear overnight. Scientists now believe these may only be the opening acts of something far greater and far more destructive. But as horrifying as this sounds, it is not the most shocking revelation of the report. The true terror lies deeper, at the very core of the Earth itself. According to the findings, the molten core, which for billions of years has been rotating in a stable direction, is now slowing down and even reversing its rotation. This discovery has left scientists stunned into silence. For the first time in human history, the very heart of the planet is shifting its rhythm. Why is this dangerous? Because the rotation of the Earth's core is directly linked to the magnetic field that surrounds and protects our planet. This invisible shield deflects harmful solar radiation and cosmic rays. Without it, life as we know it cannot exist. The reversal of the core's rotation suggests that the magnetic poles, the north and south poles of the planet, are beginning to flip. Such an event has occurred in Earth's history, but never while human civilization was at its peak. The consequences of such a reversal are unimaginable. If the magnetic field weakens during this process, radiation from the sun will pour down upon the Earth with deadly intensity. Power grids could collapse, communication systems could vanish, satellites could fail, and the very air we breathe could become saturated with levels of radiation our bodies cannot withstand. This is not science fiction, it is a scenario that scientists themselves fear, yet feel powerless to stop. The report warns that if the current pace continues, by the year 2030, the magma could be only 10 kilometers beneath the surface. Imagine that, a fiery ocean of molten rock rising to just beneath our feet. At that point, the temperature of the Earth could increase drastically, rising to 65 degrees Celsius in some regions. Oceans would begin to boil, forests would ignite, crops would wither, animals would collapse, and human survival would become nearly impossible. Cities would burn, the air would be thick with ash, and the ground would split open, releasing fountains of fire. Imagine standing in a world where the soil itself glows red with heat, where rivers turn into steam, where the horizon burns every evening not because of the sunset but because of flames rising from beneath. Humanity, with all its achievements, its skyscrapers, its technology, its science, would suddenly realize how fragile it truly is. We have built empires, we have flown into space, we have decoded the secrets of DNA, but against the wrath of the Earth, against the command of Allah, we remain powerless. Some scientists remain skeptical, others whisper warnings, but all agree on one truth: something unprecedented is happening. The changes beneath the Earth are accelerating. The climate above the Earth is becoming chaotic. Storms are more violent, summers more unbearable, winters more unpredictable. Ice at the poles is melting, oceans are swelling, islands are drowning. Every sign points toward instability, toward a world moving closer to its end. And in this moment, humanity must ask itself, is this merely a natural cycle, or is it the result of what we have done? Have our industries, our pollution, our greed, our disregard for balance pushed the planet beyond its limits? Or is this the divine decree, the unfolding of a destiny written since the beginning of time? The Quran reminds us that on the Day of Judgment, the heavens will be rolled up like a scroll, and the earth will be held in the grip of Allah. When we hear reports like these, when we see the world trembling, we are reminded that no matter how much power we think we hold, the ultimate control lies elsewhere. We are but guests on this planet, and one day, the host will call us to account. If the predictions of the report are true, humanity has little time left. Perhaps a decade, perhaps less. And in that short window, what can we do? Can we stop the core from reversing? Can we push the magma back into the depths of the earth? Can we rebuild the magnetic field if it collapses? The answer is no. Technology has limits. Science has limits. Human power has limits. All we can do is prepare. Prepare for disasters, prepare for collapse, prepare for survival in a world where fire and ash dominate the landscape. But more importantly, we must prepare spiritually. Because if this is indeed the beginning of the end, then survival on Earth may no longer be the goal. The real question becomes, are we ready to face what comes after? The image of a burning world is terrifying. Yet even more terrifying is the silence of the scientists, the helplessness of the experts, the realization that there may be no solution. Humanity, with all its arrogance, may finally stand before the truth that the end cannot be stopped, only awaited. And so we return to the beginning. When Allah Almighty will hold the earth and the heavens in His grip, the illusions of power will vanish. Kings and presidents, scientists and soldiers, rich and poor, all will be equal in their helplessness. The mountains we thought unshakable will crumble. The oceans we thought eternal will boil. The skies we admired will be torn apart. And the earth we called our home will no longer shelter us. Perhaps it will be 2030. Perhaps it will be sooner. Perhaps later. But the signs are here. The earth beneath us is warning us. The fire is rising. The shield is weakening. The end is approaching. And as humanity stands on the edge of this abyss, one question echoes louder than all the rest: have we done something to this planet that has now turned against us, or was this always written in the plan of the Almighty? Only time will tell. Or perhaps, as the report suggests, time itself is running out.